Every year on August 5th, the Church celebrates the feast of the dedication of the Basilica of St. Mary Major, one of the most beloved Marian shrines in the Christian world. In Latin, it's known as Dedicatio Basilicae Sanctae Mariae Majoris, the dedication of the great Basilica of St. Mary. But this is no ordinary church. Nestled in the heart of Rome, St. Mary Major is one of the city's 4 major basilicas, and it holds a unique honor. It was the very first church in the West ever built to honor the Virgin Mary. The word major doesn't just refer to size, it speaks of something deeper, more enduring, that among all the places where Mary is loved, venerated, and remembered, this place was first. This place has always been Mother's house. But bricks and stone alone don't tell the story. In the year 431, at the Council of Ephesus, the Church faced a profound question. Who is Mary, truly? And in answering that question, it uncovered something essential about Christ himself. The Council declared that Mary is Theotokos, the God-bearer, not simply the mother of Christ's human nature, but the mother of God, made flesh. From that moment, something shifted. The truth was no longer just debated in theology, it was engraved in the very foundations of Christian devotion. It was in this spirit that Pope Sixtus III, only months after the Council, commissioned the construction of a new basilica in Rome, a sacred space built to proclaim what had just been affirmed in Ephesus, that the child Mary carried was truly God, and that she is truly his mother. He chose Esquiline Hill, one of Rome's ancient heights, and there began a work of faith in stone. What rose from that place was not just a building, it was a monument to love, to mystery, and to the tender power of God made small. Though he never walked Rome's streets, St. Cyril of Alexandria, the brilliant theologian who led the defense of Mary's divine motherhood, laid the invisible groundwork for this church. It was his voice that rang out in Ephesus, his courage that called Mary Theotokos, his conviction that protected the heart of the gospel, that Jesus is one person, fully God and fully man, and that Mary, in her humility, bore him into the world. And so, while Sixtus laid the stones, Cyril laid the soul. The Basilica of St. Mary Major is where those stones and that soul still meet, quietly, faithfully, across centuries of devotion. But outside of the history books, whispered in the soft folds of popular devotion, lives another story. A legend, not recorded in official chronologies, yet cherished in the hearts of the faithful. It tells of a noble Roman couple in the 4th century, childless and prayerful, who longed to dedicate their inheritance to God. One night, both they and Pope Liberius shared a dream. The Virgin Mary appeared, telling them to build a church on a spot she would reveal. The sign? Snow, falling in the heat of August. And so it happened. On the morning of August 5th, the Esquiline Hill, dry and sweltering the day before, lay blanketed in white. Pope Liberius traced the outline of the church in the snow, and the couple offered their land and fortune to bring it to life. The Church does not affirm this tale as historical fact. The legend first appeared in the 13th century. But it endures, not because it is provable, but because it is believable to the heart. It reflects something deeper than dates, that Mary, as mother, still speaks in ways only faith can hear. Each year on August 5th, as artificial snow drifts gently down from the dome during the liturgy, pilgrims don't marvel at the weather. They marvel at the memory, not of snow, but of grace, not of cold, but of closeness. And still, beneath the gold and marble, something even more precious rests, the icon Salus Populi Romani, protectress of the Roman people. Her eyes have looked upon plagues and popes, emperors and empty streets, and still they look, steady, serene, as if she never stops watching. During the pandemic in 2020, Pope Francis walked alone through a rain-soaked Rome and knelt before her. No speeches, no cameras, just a prayer to the Mother who never leaves. And there is more. Beneath the altar lies the chapel of the crib, where wooden relics believed to be from the manger of Bethlehem are kept. People don't come here to see history. They come to kneel at mystery, to let their soul rest where God once lay in straw. Some come with brokenness, others with hope, many with silence. They leave changed, not always healed, but heard, not always certain, but less afraid. The Church makes no public claim of miracles here, but sometimes what the heart knows doesn't need a footnote. Through it all, saints and popes have walked the path of Marian love. St. John, who took her into his home. Bernard of Clairvaux, who sang her praises from the cloister. Alphonsus Liguori, who poured devotion into ink. Dominic, who held the rosary like a sword of peace. And the popes, Pius IX, who defined her immaculate conception. Pius XII, who proclaimed her Assumption. John the 23rd, who entrusted the Second Vatican Council to her hands. Paul VI, who called her Mother of the Church. And John Paul II, whose coat of arms bore only one letter, M. Totus Tuus. All yours. That wasn't poetry. It was his life. So this basilica is more than architecture. It is memory, belief, and motherhood carved in stone. And in the quiet hours, if you listen closely, you may still hear something. Not from the dome, but from the manger. Not from the altar, but from the heart of a mother who never stopped waiting.